The air was thick with the smell of rotting wood and stale popcorn as I stepped through the rusty gates of Twilight Park. The sun had long since set, casting an eerie silence over the abandoned rides and empty ticket booths. I shivered despite the warm summer evening, my heart pounding in my chest as I surveyed my surroundings. As I made my way deeper into the park, I couldn't help but feel eyes upon me, watching my every move. The wind picked up suddenly, causing the flickering streetlights to cast twisted shadows across the ground. Whispered voices seemed to carry on the breeze, echoes of laughter and screams melding together into an indiscernible cacophony that sent a chill down my spine. Despite the growing sense of unease, I pushed forward, determined to uncover the truth behind the legends that surrounded this place. According to local lore, Twilight Park was once home to a vicious creature known only as the Night Stalker, a powerful vampiric entity that sought revenge upon all who entered his domain. Some even claimed that he still roamed these grounds, hungry for fresh blood and eternal vengeance. The hairs on the back of my neck stood at attention as I approached one of the most popular attractions, the Tunnel of Terror. Legend has it that the Night Stalker himself used to frequent this ride, preying upon unsuspecting riders as they navigated its winding darkness. Despite knowing better, I found myself drawn inside, eager to face whatever terrors lay beyond. As I waited in line, the old wooden car creaked and groaned around me, threatening to give way beneath my feet. With a sudden jolt, the ride came to life, propelling me into the blackness ahead. For a moment, everything was pitch dark, save for the faint outline of shapes flitting just out of sight. And then, without warning, the lights snapped on, revealing row upon row of decaying mannequins, each frozen in a state of agony and fear. It was then that I heard it, the soft whisper of the corner of my eye, catching glimpses of something moving just beyond my field of vision. It wasn't until I reached the entrance of what appeared to be an abandoned funhouse that I finally saw her, or rather, felt her presence. She was dressed in tattered clothing, her eyes hollow and vacant, a cold mist emanating from her very essence. Without hesitation, she lunged towards me, hands outstretched, her mouth open in a silent scream. In pure instinctual reaction, I turned and bolted, my legs carrying me faster than they ever had before. But no matter how much distance I put between us, I could hear her footsteps echoing in my wake, drawing closer and closer and closer and closer with each step. Finally, I rounded a corner, crashing headlong into something solid, something warm, something human. "Hey, watch it," growled a gruff voice. Startled, I looked up to find a group of teenagers perched atop a picnic table, clearly startled by the commotion. They eyed me suspiciously, taking note of my camera equipment and lack of companionship. But before I could offer any explanation, there was a sudden shift in the atmosphere, an almost palpable pressure that made the hairs on my arms stand on end. I followed their gaze, witnessing the same hooded figure materialize right before them. In an instant, chaos erupted. Screams filled the air as bodies were tossed aside like rag dolls, caught up in some invisible tempest. Within moments, I watched in horror as the entire group disappeared into thin air. My mind reeling, I struggled to process what I had just seen when I noticed movement once again, shadowy figures emerging from the trees, closing in on me. Terror took hold as I realized too late that I should have listened to the rumors, that I shouldn't have come here tonight. But now, it was far too late for regrets. Now, I was just another pawn in the Night Stalker's twisted game. Without pause, I sprinted deeper into the maze of dilapidated buildings, ducking behind rusted metal structures and hiding amidst broken scenery. Every turn brought new terrors, a phantom clown juggling razor blades, a phantom clown juggling razor blades, a disfigured acrobat performing impossible. My heart leapt into my throat as I stumbled upon an old merry-go-round, spinning wildly on its own, its painted horses morphing into demonic entities right before my eyes. The very earth itself seemed to tremble underfoot as malevolent whispers carried on the night air, filling me with dread and despair. And yet through it all, I pressed onward, driven by a primal desire to survive. In those fleeting moments, I became possessed by a fierce determination to live, to see the dawn break and the sun rise once more. My steps faltered as I neared the park's exit gates, my senses assaulted by a final act of cruelty played out before me. A young girl, no older than 8, sat cross-legged in front of the main gate, tears streaming down her innocent face. Her clothes hung torn and tattered, as if she had been dragged along the rough pavement while struggling to escape. An ethereal fog swallowed her whole, tendrils of wispy smoke curling around her body, binding her within its grasp. For the briefest of moments, we locked eyes. A spark of recognition flashed in hers, a silent plea for salvation transmitted without words. Then she vanished in a burst of light, leaving nothing but her childlike giggle echoing through the darkness. Shaken to the core, I collapsed against the gate, trembling as I realized I'd barely escaped with my sanity intact. Gasping for air, I pulled myself upright, my thoughts consumed by the little girl's plight. With a heavy heart, I knew what I must do next. Wrenching open the rusty bars, I stepped outside into the cool, deserted streets, glancing both ways before crossing the road. Ignoring my own safety, I flagged down a passing police cruiser, hoping to bring justice to the tormented spirits trapped within Twilight Park's borders. Never looking back, I bid farewell to the cursed amusement park, grateful to leave behind the memories of my traumatic journey. Even today, long after that moonlit October night, I still dream of the nightmarish visions I encountered, reliving the terror time and time again. Though my nightmares persist, I find solace in knowing that I played a part in exposing the horrors of Twilight Park to the world. News of the incident spread like wildfire, captivating the attention of paranormal investigators, journalists, and thrill-seekers alike. The once abandoned park became a hub of activity, its gates reopening under new management, determined to uncover the truth and cleanse the park of its dark history. Teams of experts descended upon Twilight Park, armed with equipment designed to capture evidence of the supernatural. They set up cameras, conducted seances, and meticulously documented any signs of paranormal activity. With each passing day, more stories emerged, each more chilling than the last. Witnesses shared tales of ghostly apparitions, unexplained phenomena, and encounters with the Night Stalker himself. As the investigations intensified, so did the determination to unravel the mystery of the park's curse. The enigmatic entity known as the Night Stalker proved elusive, leaving only whispers and traces of his presence behind. The investigators delved deep into the history of the park, unearthing forgotten records and stories of tragedy and despair. Through their relentless efforts, the truth slowly began to emerge. It was revealed that Twilight Park had been built upon a site that had once been a burial ground for victims of a devastating plague. The souls of the deceased, restless and vengeful, had become trapped within the confines of the park, their suffering fueling the dark energy that permeated every inch of the place. One by one, the investigators uncovered the stories of those tormented spirits. The young girl at the gate was named Emily, a victim of the plague who had perished before her time. Her innocent laughter, forever trapped within the park, was a reminder of the cruelty inflicted upon her in life. The Night Stalker, as it turned out, was not an immortal vampire seeking revenge, but rather a manifestation of the collective pain and anguish of those lost souls. Armed with this newfound knowledge, the investigators devised a plan to free the trapped spirits and break the curse that held Twilight Park captive. Working in collaboration with mediums and spiritual guides, they performed a series of rituals and ceremonies aimed at granting the restless souls peace. The night of the final ritual arrived, a night when the boundaries between the living and the dead grew thin. As the clock struck midnight, the investigators gathered at the heart of the park, surrounded by the remnants of its haunted attractions. Candles flickered in the darkness as incantations filled the air, resonating with a power born of desperation and hope. A surge of energy coursed through the park, its intensity growing with each passing moment. The earth trembled, and a spectral mist enveloped everything, obscuring the world from view. The spirits, once trapped and tortured, were finally set free, their anguished cries replaced by whispers of gratitude and relief. When the mist finally dissipated, the investigators found themselves standing in a transformed Twilight Park. The air was no longer heavy with darkness, but instead filled with a sense of calm and tranquility. The ride stood restored, vibrant with color and life. A gentle breeze rustled through the trees, carrying with it the echoes of children's laughter, a sound long forgotten within these haunted grounds. Twilight Park reopened its gates to the public, transformed into a place of healing and redemption. The stories of its past horrors remained, etched into the fabric of its history, serving as a reminder to all who entered to respect the spirits that now resided there. And as for me, the one who had dared to uncover the truth, I found solace in knowing that my journey had brought about change. Though the nightmares persisted, I embraced them as a reminder of the resilience of the human spirit, and as a testament to the power of confronting our fears head on. Twilight Park became a symbol of hope, a testament to the triumph of light over darkness. Its gates stood open, inviting the brave and curious to step inside and discover the beauty that had emerged from the shadows. And for those who dared to venture through those gates, the tale of the haunted amusement park would forever be etched in their memories. a cautionary reminder of the horrors that can lurk beneath the surface of our world. For just $3 a month, you can have your name featured in my YouTube videos and descriptions. Not only will you be supporting my channel, but you'll also be immortalized in the credits of my content. If you're looking for something a bit more personalized, consider becoming a $25 a month patron. I'll voice your stories and bring them to life on my channel. Create a special drawing just for you, or even write a unique story tailored to your interests. So don't hesitate. Join my patron community today and help me keep the spooky stories coming. And remember, together we can save each other from the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for your support.